I deal with retailers and I deal with brands, and they all want to use mobile to do really fun stuff, right? I say, look, go back to those days when you were in university and you went into the bar and there was a good-looking gal or there was a good-looking guy and you wanted to sort of hook up, right? And so you didn't go up to the bar and settle next to this person and say, hey, excuse me, have you got a website address? You know, or, gee, have you got an app I could download? Or, gee, is there an NFC tag around there somewhere that I could tap, right? You went up to them and you said that, gee, could I get your phone number? The same question your mom asked your dad, or your dad asked your mom to get the second date, right? And that's what we do in mobile because, gee, you know, when you look at this thing, and that's a pretty damn fast phone there. That's a powerful thing. Do you know how much faster? I know there have been discussions about how fast that phone is. I was in a number of discussions today when they said, gee, even Canal said, hey, that's a fast phone. It's faster than the rocket, the guidance computer that sent the first rocket to the moon. But how much faster? Give me a number. How much faster? 10? 1,000. 1,000's a lot. Any others? Okay. It's 2,000 times faster. And that's the DAN Nexus. If you look at, you know, what is new, that's new. And that is 2,600 times faster. These are mammoth, almost like, it's hard to comprehend that that is sitting in your pocket, right? The problem is that that is sitting in your pocket. And because it's such a fast device, that all these retailers and brands that want to connect with the gal or the guy in the bar think, oh my gosh, I'm doing it through such a powerful device. What can I use the capabilities of this device? What's at my disposal to connect with this gal and this guy? And that's what we're going to be talking about today because it's all about George. Here's my New York stuff, right? It's all about George because although Google wants to make you believe that they are going to help George, what they really want is to connect to George's wallet in a very personal way. They want to go beyond credit cards and they want to go beyond debit. They even want to go beyond cash. What they want to do is get into what makes George George. What receipts does he have in his wallet? What affinity cards? What's George's personality? Because that's big data. Understanding the relationship that you can establish with George is going to make or break the mobile industry going forward over the next few years. So it's about picking up, unfortunately, George at the bar, right? And so let's take a look at what your phone actually is used for. This amazing phone, 2,600 times faster than the computer that sent the first person to the moon. So yeah, it's used for email. And if you're a healthy mobile adult, you will be emailing during this presentation, right? It's used, obviously, for social networking, to check the weather. You know, hey, I'll Google Gary. I'll find out, you know, what's happening with headlines and sports, of course. I'll find out, you know, where this place is, because obviously a few of you didn't Google location. And it's obviously used for retail. But primarily, 60% of the people who have phones use it to take photographs. 60%. Only 31% are playing games. 60% are using it for photographs. 74% are using it for text messaging. This is a text messaging device. The computer that's 2,600 times faster than the rocket that sent the first person to the moon is primarily used to send text messages. Okay? So that's why we're so screwed. Because that's why, while things are so complex, they're so simple. We've lost our connection to the consumer. We've lost our connection to George. And so bricks and mortar is in huge flux. We're closing, we're reinventing. Ads spend, publishing, how they make money is in huge flux. Again, losing value, reinventing. Mobile wallets. Also, where is that going? You know, maybe 2012 before we start to get something in the market, but if you look at, you know, these big, wonderful press releases with Rogers and CIBC, we all know that those are just optics. We know that those are early positioning statements. This is coming, we don't know when, but the wallet is in flux. And when you look at everything that's changing, there's some interesting things happening. And this I love, because it's showing that not only are things, it's not as if, you know, retail started and now retail is in its dying, you know, motions. And suddenly the store was great. It was invented on the prairies with, you know, Sears Roebuck, and now it's here with Blockbuster and Target and Borders and all the other sort of disrupted stores, and retail's dying. No, it's a continuum. And the reality is that retail is changing and it's innovating. And this is an example of where retail is going. It's not a store. It is not the internet. But here are people, although this particular example was more of a campaign-based, made-you-look kind of thing, this is an example of a store that exists between those two pillars, right? So if you go back again to New York, it's a little bit dark, but that, 120 years ago, or 1888 to be exact, Thomas Adams put the first sweets and gumball machines on the New York subway. Huge innovation. Why? Why was it such an innovation? Because suddenly I could buy gumballs and I didn't have to worry about going to the store. I could be on the New York subway and say, gee, I'd like a gumball, and I could dispense. Well, what happened 120 years later? You had people in subway stations in Singapore doing similar things, and we go, oh my gosh, this is such innovation. Last minute Valentine gifting. Oh my gosh. And you have people on subway stations in Seoul doing innovative stuff. Wow, this is revolutionary.